Hello and welcome to Hevsel Weekly. In this week's episode, we will discuss the latest news, such as a British man's body found in Antarctica after 66 years, the UK expanding facial recognition bans, wildfires across southeastern Europe, and Donald Trump hosting the Kennedy Center honors. And let's start with our first headline of the week. The bones of a British man who died in a terrible accident in Antarctica in 1959 have been discovered in a melting glacier. The first discovery was in January, when a Polish team found bones near their base alongside ski poles, a pipe, a radio, and a watch. Dennis Tink Bell, who had just turned 25, fell in a crashway in 1959 while working for the Falkland Island Dependency Survey, which later became the British Antarctic Survey. His remains were identified throughout DNA testing and returned home. The DNA was confirmed to be a match with samples from his siblings. His brother David Bell, who lives in Australia, said he and his sister Valerie were shocked and amazed to learn Dennis had been found after 66 years. The British Antarctic Survey and British Antarctic Monument Trust have been a tremendous support, and together with the sensitivity of the Polish team in bringing it home, have helped us come to terms with the tragic loss of our brilliant brother, he said. Born in 1934, Dennis worked with the Royal Air Force as a radio operator and trained as a meteorologist before joining the FIDC to work in Antarctica in 1958. While talking about his brother, David Bell said, "Dennis was the oldest of three siblings and was my hero because of his ability to turn his hand to anything," recalling how he once built a radio from scratch and spent hours decoding Morse code. On another occasion, when David and their parents came home from the cinema, they found him taking motorbike engine apart on the kitchen table. Rod Ryan Jones, the chair of the British Antarctic Monument Trust, said, "The discovery of Dennis Bell brings sharply into focus the cost of scientific endeavor in Antarctica in the years before improved transportation and communication. Many of those lost were never found, which makes the discovery the more remarkable. The family still hasn't decided how to mark their brother's memory." Moving on to next headline, the UK is expanding facial recognition bans beyond London, South Wales, and Essex to 7 more regions. They will now be rolled out across police forces to locate suspects from crimes such as sexual offences and violent assaults. 10 new ones with cameras that scan faces of passerby will be deployed in Greater Manchester, West Yorkshire, Bedfordshire, Surrey, Sussex, Thames Valley, and Hampshire. Live facial recognition was first used in 2017 at the UEFA Champions League final in Cardiff. According to the government, the technology has been used in London to make 580 arrests in 20 months, including 52 registered sex offenders. Technology measures facial features such as the distance between eyes and jawline length and compares them to the watch list. Each van will be staffed with a trained officer who checks the matches identified by the technology. The government is consulting on what safeguards are needed to ensure transparency and public confidence before drawing up a new legal framework, but campaigners fear the ones could turn streets into a mass police lineup and lead to surveillance state. Home Office Minister Dame Diana Johnson rejected those claims, saying it would be clear to the public when the technology was being used, and information would only be kept during the deployment. There have also been concerns that there might be false matches in certain ethnic groups. They were dismissed by the Home Office, citing research from London and Wales showing no such evidence of bias for race, gender, or age. The Home Office also said there will be a named officer in every neighborhood in England and Wales, and local police will try to reply to questions within 3 days. Next, the intense heatwave driving wildfires in the Mediterranean has killed at least 3 people and forced thousands to evacuate. At least 3 people have died in Spain, Albania, and Turkey, including firefighters. Dozens were taken to hospital with smoke inhalation and burns. Temperatures top 40 Celsius degree in parts of Europe, with record high in France and Slovenia. Scientists say that heat creates perfect conditions for wildfires, highlighting the climate emergency. Spain faced dozens of fires, including one near Madrid that burned 1,000 hectares. Over 3,700 people were evacuated in Castilla y León and 2,000 more in the Tarifa. Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez warned the extreme fire risks and praised emergency services. The blazes have led the Interior Ministry to declare pre-emergency pace to help coordinate emergency resources. In neighboring Portugal, firefighters were battling three large wildfires in the center and north of the country. In Greece, fires across Peloponnese and the Ionian Island forced thousands to evacuate. Officials faced over 60 blazes on 106 fronts with temperature near 43 degrees Celsius and dry, making the conditions extremely flammable. Arson is suspected in many cases. And lastly, Donald Trump announced on August 14th that he will host the Kennedy Center Honors this year and said he had been involved in choosing who to nominate. The Kennedy Center Honors were established in 1988 and have been given to recognize a range of artists. The US president named actor Sylvester Stallone, singer Gloria Gaynor, the rock band Kiss, country music star George Strait, and actor and singer Michael Crawford among the first batch of Kennedy Center Honors nominees. The president usually attends the annual honors event each December and hosts a reception for the awardees at the White House. And this year, the president announced that he will host the event, although no details have been released about how it will be conducted. In his announcement, Trump said he had been invited to host the Kennedy Center Honors and had agreed. After the announcement in an appearance at the Arts Center on August 14th, Trump said that he intends to renovate the entire infrastructure of the Kennedy Center to make it crown jewel of arts and culture in the U.S. Trump also mentioned a potential name change for the center, formerly the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts. House Republicans had proposed renaming the Opera House after Melania Trump, but no change has been made. Historically, a bipartisan advisory committee selects the recipients, who have included figures such as George Balanchine, Tom Hanks, Joni Mitchell, and Stephen Sondheim. That concludes this week's episode of Hevsel Weekly. We have explored the body finally being found in Antarctica after 66 years, the UK expanding the face recognition bans, wildfire across the Mediterranean, and President Trump announcing he will host this year's Kennedy Center Honors. Thanks for listening to Hevsel Weekly. See you next time.